Pete Marr here for B-Sides at Austin City Limits 2023. I am so stoked to see a very old friend join us. It is Jeffrey Paradise of Poolside.
Hello, hello. Great to see you again.
Dude, we were just chatting off camera about all the nostalgia and memories we've had together.
Memory lane, yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So awesome to see you in Austin.
Yes.
Like, this is an iconic, legendary festival. Have you thought about what it means to play here?
No.
Okay, next question.
No, I mean, I've been to ACL once, but I mean, I literally am so busy right now with like shows and this and that. It's like I don't really have that much time to think about it, which, to be honest, is sometimes a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't you just go do it. You know, you don't have time to get anxious or trip out or much. So sort of being silly saying no, but.
For sure.
In a way, yeah. It's like you're just kind of jumping on stage doing it.
Obviously, take a moment to take it in and recognize how significant it is. You're playing a lot of festivals this year.
No, it's been crazy. Like playing Lollapalooza was like, I'm like, I can't believe I'm playing this. Like as a kid, was like Lollapalooza seemed like the coolest thing. And, Outside Lands where we saw each other again. Being, from San Francisco, that was always a dream that I never thought would get realized. And yeah, to be here and playing late in the evening or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. It is really crazy.
And every festival is curated to the vibe of the city or the region.
Yeah.
So the fact that your music resonates with people here in the South or Austin, which is just weird, right? Keep Austin weird.
We are.
Means a lot as well.
For sure.
And,
for sure.
And you and I have that San Francisco connection.
Yeah.
And it's so awesome that you have come this far. I find it interesting. I do want to talk about a throwback for a second because indie sleaze is a thing again.
I know.
And you and I met during that time.
We were indie sleazers.
That's right. In the moment.
Is that a word? Sleazers?
You were throwing a special night in San Francisco, and it was wild. And
it was
very much, I think, the catalyst for why you started the band, right? Like the rapture and that type of vibe.
Yeah, so the whole indie sleaze thing I loved, and it felt pretty rebellious in a way, because before that the whole indie rocker was like, yo, I'm so sad vibe.
Right, the hipster.
It's hard to remember for most people, but that was when I was super young. The vibe was being like a super nerdy sad boy. So indie sleaze felt so exciting. But as it grew into the dubstep banger, it just became mainstream music.
Right.
And I was just like, what am I doing here? This is not why I did this. And it was Blow Up was bigger than it ever was when I quit, but I just was I felt like I was going to the office. I was putting on my uniform and going to work.
Dressing to play a part.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, what would I want to do? And I was like, I just want to start a band. So anyways, here we are now.
That's crazy. Now, did you have any musical chops prior to thinking about doing that?
Not enough. But yeah, I was in a band in college, this band, The Calculators, which had all the members of the Rapture, the original lineup of the Rapture. But I just knew power chords. I was not a good player. And, I had tried to produce in the Paradise Boys, my old band. I was a co-producer in that. But I never was good, to be honest. So, Philip used to be I used to have a producer in Poolside who was we were a duo. And he wore the producer hat. And I kind of helped. But now I've taken it over the role. So it's been a bit of a gradual process, but I wasn't ready at all, short answer. And but I've evolved into the role. So.
But this project, this band now, has definitely gotten attention along the way.
Oh, for sure.
You played other electronic-based festivals.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it harkens back to your days as a DJ, knowing what people want to hear, what they would vibe with.
Yeah, that was literally kind of the idea. I've never really told this story. It's not that crazy, but the idea for Poolside, so I used to do Winter Music Conference in Miami a lot as Jeffrey Paradise DJs. And then I started getting booked sometimes at day pool parties. And I'd be like, oh, this is amazing. I get to play chill. It's no bangers. There's nothing to keep, you're not trying to keep the crowd excited. You just get to kind of groove out and play tracks that you normally would never get to play. So I'm like, man, I always loved those sets. So I'm just going to make a music that would fit that. There's more to it than that, but that was because you understand the whole lineage.
Right.
It makes sense to tell you. But yeah, some of those pool sets was what I was like, yeah, let's make some music that fits for that, because it's like it's never gonna get. Wasn't fashionable ever. It's never gonna be a trend, you know.
Right.
It's never gonna become like. I'm never gonna age out. Like dubstep was like, you know, people just raging balls, and I'm like, if I was 17, I probably would have been so about dubstep, but at that point I was like getting into my 30s, and I was like, this is just not my. You know, like I'm too old.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you got to follow your passion. What resonates with you, right?
yeah, exactly. So now I figured Poolside is just something I'll love forever, because it's just fits who I am.
It is so awesome that you've been able to continue to grow. It's not just this, little side project that Dad is doing, you know, or anything like that.
No,
you're
it's
actually
a thing.
singing now on this new material that you have.
Yeah, first
We could
time
be falling
ever.
in love.
Yeah, and there's 4 songs on the record I sing. Only one is out, but another one comes out this week. And yeah, it was a stretch, but I've grown into it, and I'm excited to be. I'm singing, producing, playing.
How much apprehension did you have?
Oh, I had a ton. I was so scared to sing.
Yeah.
It's so vulnerable. It's so naked, and like I at least think like your voice should be good. Like an instrument you can practice but your voice, it's very hard to practice, in my opinion. Maybe other people have different thoughts, but you know, you can't like press it like the way you play an instrument. You just have to somehow like figure it out. And so yeah, it just feels more like you suck at it. It feels more like I suck, rather than like, oh, I'm not that good at guitar. You're just like, my voice sucks. It's like a hard hurdle to get over. So I had, to be honest, a lot of apprehension. And
Did you have any vocal training? Did you focus on?
I practiced alone, and then I worked with this one woman that was mostly like, she'd make you do weird, like just kind of getting you out of your shell. Like you'd do weird, like posing, a little bit almost like acting. But I don't even know what you call it, like method acting, but mixed with singing.
Yeah.
And that was really helpful, and now I've finally spent enough time like with a piano and my voice and recording myself that it's like I kind of got it now.
Were there any type of artists that we know that you might have looked at as kind of a model or somebody to go with? Because a lot of electronic artists started off as just playing music, right? And then created original music.
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, Big Wild.
Yeah,
they evolved into singing and presenting themselves at the forefront.
Yep. I didn't really look towards like anyone who transitioned that way, but like I really like Jim James from My Morning Jacket. Like his voice, I think he's like uniquely got a very soulful voice that seems very authentic. I really resonate with singers like that. I really like Illinois. He's Whitest Boy Alive and Kings of Convenience, and he's Scandinavian. He's just got a very quirky voice that I feel is very. I've been a big fan of his for a long time, and I don't really try to emulate anyone because I think that makes you sound.
Well, of course, yeah.
But I'm just trying to find that, you know, this is just who I am, and this is how do I embody that the best way.
You get into the music, and then the voice just comes out.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's that. Yeah.
The new project is called Blame It All on Love.
Yes, new album. Yeah.
And so a lot of love themes going on here.
Very much. Yeah.
Are you in love?
I am. Yeah, I've been with my girlfriend off and on for 9 years. Fair amount of off, but the love brings us back together. And then it's like a lot about love of music. It's not totally like a relationship-y album per se, but it's like following your passions, as we've talked about, that love, following your dreams coming true, and them kind of being not, you know, you're there. Maybe the first question about taking an ACL, you're there and you're like, I love this, but like, I can't even take it in.
Yeah.
In some ways, because you're so busy. Like, you know, every time you reach a goal, it has such a like ephemeral quality. So that's a big kind of the piece of what the album's about as well. And yeah, just it's very much like everything I've kind of set out to do is I've kind of gotten to some piece of like tasting that, and then you're like, oh, I'm still me, like, you know, and it's a lot of, there's a lot of layers of love that's in there. Love songs about typical romantic love, and then kind of a more interesting or maybe less talked about versions of love too.
It's very, very timely, this album, because we're basically out of the intense situation that we've been in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
People are exploring life again, and to be in love, to love what you're doing, and so forth. You are really embodying that moment, because here you are. You've been at this for a while.
A long time.
We just said you started off as playing other people's music. Now you're making your own music.
Right.
And still growing.
It is. It's been a journey, and like it's crazy. Like I lived in a closet in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And lived in after I moved out of the dorms, and just had a synthesizer and some records. I've just been tinkering away for years and years, and I'm really fortunate that it's paid off. Not everyone. I'm very grateful that that's been the case. So
well, based on what I've heard, there's more to come for you. And I am so stoked for you, man. I couldn't be more proud to just know you.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's so cool to, as we were saying in San Francisco, when the people you've been with see, it's cool because music is so burnout, or 2 years someone's cool and then they're gone. And
right.
When you see people who've been in the game a long time, it's just you're immediately just awesome.
Right.
So it's a good part of this phase of my career. It's we just we're in Bentonville, Arkansas, and the whole LCD sound system crew was there, and we all went out to lunch and walked around, and just seeing all your friends from over the years that are still doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's it's a very game recognized game kind of Bay Area reference.
Right.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I love it, man. Congrats on all the attention. Like I said, there's more to come.
Awesome.
And slay. Go slay at this set here.
Well, this is, we've been rehearsing crazy, so this is going to be the best expression of Poolside, I think, so far. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And you're going to be singing, so it's going to be a treat.
It's going to be on Hulu too, so you can watch it.
No
even
pressure.
If you're not. Oh yeah, no doubt. No. What's pressure?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise.
It's Jeffrey Paradise of Poolside at ACL with B-Sides.